You're at a baseball game, or a street cart, or just staring at a menu, and your eyes land on two words that, if you think about them for more than 3 seconds, make absolutely no sense. Hot dog. Not sausage, not sausage in a bun. Just hot dog, which is wild because it's literally a sausage. It should have nothing to do with dogs, right? But for some reason, that goofy little word completely replaced the name for the much older Frankfurter sausage. And yet nobody walks up to a street cart and goes, "Yeah, let me get one Frankfurter sausage in a bun, please." So what happened? How did a known German sausage end up with such a goofy name? Where did the dog part even come from? And how did that slang name completely bury the original name? Let's get into it. Okay, reality check first. A hot dog isn't just a cute nickname someone made up. It's a defined product category with actual rules behind it. Under federal standards, a hot dog is a cooked or smoked sausage made from raw skeletal muscle meat, beef, pork, or poultry. But here's where it gets interesting. Hot dogs aren't made like most sausages. They're what food scientists call an emulsion sausage, which sounds fancy, but here's what it means. The meat and fat get chopped with water so finely, so thoroughly, that they turn into a smooth meat batter. Then that batter cooks and sets into the weirdly uniform, bouncy texture everyone knows. And because this is a regulated product, there are guardrails. In the United States, hot dogs can't exceed 30% fat, and there are limits on how much fat and added water can be combined. So legally, a hot dog is a very specific type of sausage with very specific rules. Frankfurters, Franks, and hot dogs are interchangeable. Sausage is just the bigger umbrella they all live under. So if hot dogs are officially sausages, why did American culture start treating them like a completely different thing? To answer that, forget the factory, go to the sidewalk, because the hot dog didn't get famous in a kitchen, it got famous on the street. By the 1860s, German immigrants in New York were already out here selling wieners from pushcarts, fast food before fast food was a thing. Then in 1867, a German immigrant named Charles Feltman opened a New York operation selling Frankfurters in rolls. Just like that, the sausage wasn't just a butcher shop product anymore. It was street food, portable, hot, and immediate. And once that format clicked, the scale got absolutely absurd. By the 1920s, Feltman's Coney Island business was serving more than 5 million customers a year, including 40,000 hot dogs per day. It's no longer a niche snack. It's a mass culture. And when something gets sold that many times, its name gets repeated constantly. But that still doesn't answer the weird part. Why didn't sausage survive as the main label? Here's the part nobody talks about, the bun. At first, it seems like a minor detail, a sidekick, if you will. But the bun is actually the reason everything changed. A sausage on a plate is just meat. A sausage in a bun is a handheld item, something you buy as one single unit, carry around, and eat without utensils. That format is everything. Because hot dogs have that smooth emulsion structure, they reheat fast and consistently, perfect for vendors, perfect for crowds, perfect for anywhere speed matters. The bun turned a sausage into a portable product, a repeatable experience, something you could put a name to. But convenience alone doesn't explain the language. So why did the specific phrase hot dog win? Here's where it gets unexpectedly formal. But first, where did the phrase hot dog even come from? There's actually two stories for that. I'll start with the cute one. It's 1901, cold April day, New York Polo Grounds. Vendors are working the crowd with portable hot water tanks, shouting, "They're red hot! Get your Dachshund sausages while they're red hot!" A sports cartoonist for the New York Journal named Tad Dorgan catches the whole scene, hastily sketches a cartoon of barking Dachshund sausages nestled in rolls, and because he had no idea how to spell Dachshund, he just wrote hot dog. The cartoon was reportedly a sensation, except nobody can find the cartoon anywhere. Despite Dorgan's enormous body of work and his popularity, historians have never been able to track it down. So the more likely origin, culinary historians point to college magazines, where hot dog was already showing up in the 1890s. The term was common at Yale by the fall of 1894, where dog wagons sold them right at the dorms. And it wasn't a fond nickname. It was a sarcastic joke about the questionable origins of the meat. The dog connection traces back to the German immigrants who brought it to the U.S. They didn't just bring sausages to America, they brought dachshund dogs too. The name most likely started as a joke about their small, long, thin dogs. And even Germans themselves called the Frankfurter a little dog or dachshund sausage. The word dog was tied to this thing long before it ever hit American streets. So hot dog probably wasn't coined by a cartoonist. It was a joke that became a name. And once it stuck, institutions made it permanent. Because hot dog didn't just survive in slang, it got reinforced by the legal world. Frankfurter, Frank, and hot dog are just three names for one specific type of sausage. People stopped treating hot dog as slang. They started treating it like the name of a specific product. And that logic shows up in actual law. California's health code defines a hot dog as a whole cured cooked sausage, also known as a Frankfurter, Frank, or Wiener, that may be served in a bun or roll. That definition is doing something interesting. It combines the product and the presentation, the sausage itself, plus the way people normally eat it. The slang name got tied to a recognizable experience. But here's the thing, institutions reflect language. They don't create it. So what actually locked hot dog into everyday speech? The real answer is embarrassingly simple: scale. Because language follows repetition, and hot dogs get repeated constantly. In the United States, people eat roughly 20 billion hot dogs every year. That's about 70 per person. During summer alone, just summer, Americans eat around 7 billion hot dogs. Think about what that means. Every single time someone orders one, the name gets said out loud. Every menu prints it. Every vendor repeats it. At that volume, a name that started as a joke stops feeling like a joke. It becomes the word. And suddenly, hot dog doesn't sound weird anymore. It sounds specific, almost official. And that's exactly why sausage got pushed to the background. Because sausage has to cover a lot of ground. Bratwurst, Italian sausage, kielbasa, dozens of other styles. Sausage is the family name, the whole genre. Hot dog, on the other hand, points to something precise. A cooked or smoked, finely processed sausage with a smooth, uniform texture made through that emulsion process where meat, fat, and water get blended into a stable mixture before cooking. When you say hot dog, you're not just describing meat. You're describing a very particular sausage style in a bun. So sausage stays the category. Hot dog becomes the identity. Here's the part that's genuinely funny. Hot dog sounds casual, goofy even, like someone just made it up on the spot. And in a way, they did. But the product behind the name, anything but loose. Federal standards define what a hot dog is. They regulate ingredients, production, and composition. Fat levels are controlled. State laws define the food by name. A name that started as a joke about the meat became the legally defined name for the meat. A silly sounding label sitting on top of a highly standardized government-regulated product. The slang became the official sounding name. Once that happens, the language locks in permanently. So why is it called a hot dog instead of a sausage? Because sausage is the category. Hot dog is the identity that repetition built. It's a regulated sausage style, made a specific way, defined in standards and in law, but shaped culturally by how it's sold, eaten, and talked about. When something gets ordered 20 billion times a year, the slang stops feeling strange. It just becomes the word. So next time you see hot dog on a menu, you're not just looking at a playful label. You're looking at a piece of language that won.